Good morning, everyone. So, first of all, this is Easter Sunday, also known as Resurrection Sunday, also known as the day when Christ rose. So, in that spirit, the meditation I'm going to do is from Pieces Every Step. And it really is, I'm calling it a I'm glad I'm alive meditation. Now, it's not stated there in the book, but when I thought about today and I thought about what would be useful and helpful as we really embody this idea of resurrection, I felt that the meditation should be literally being present to the life force that is who you are. The fact that you are risen, that we all rose today on this Sunday is a blessing. And so this meditation is just about getting really present to the life you're living right here, right now. So I'm going to start with just a little statement, and then I'm going to go into the meditation. And this part is taken from Pieces Every Step, the Path of Mindfulness in Everyday Life. Every morning when we wake up, we have 24 brand new hours to live. What a precious gift. We have the capacity to live in a way that these 24 hours will bring peace, joy, and happiness to ourselves and others. Peace is present right here and now in ourselves and in everything we do and see. The question is whether or not we are in touch with it. The purpose of this meditation is to get you in touch with the life you're living right now. Not life as a concept, not life as a story, not life as something that happened to you, not something that happened before you got here, but life is what's happening right here, right now. So we're going to thank God that we are alive in this moment. So as we think on life is in the moment, life is in the present, we have arisen. There's a new 24 hours that we've been granted to experience all of life. We want to just meditate on I'm alive. Just take that in. I'm alive. So I want you to just say to yourself, I am the living, breathing manifestation of life. I am a living, breathing manifestation of life. I am life itself. Breathe that in. And each time you say, I am life itself, I want you to just get present to the life force that's within you, that is manifesting through you as you. We have arisen. We are alive. And because we are alive, we get to choose how we experience this day of life. Because one of the distinctions of being alive is the power to choose one's experience no matter what is occurring. Because life, you see, is unaffected by circumstances. It may be impacted by circumstances, but life still gets to live its life regardless of the circumstances. So it is in this I am alive space that we just take in the air we breathe, the air that's breathing through us, as us, the oxygen that's moving through and as us. We are just so grateful and blessed that we have arisen. We are here now. And in being here now, we allow all things that we did yesterday, the day before, because that life is over. We cannot breathe yesterday's air, so we cannot live yesterday's life. We can only live the life that's present right here, because life only exists right here, right now. And so as being alive, we're going to just be alive. We're going to let go what we did or didn't do yesterday. We're going to give up whatever we think we should be doing later, tomorrow, next week. And we're going to just allow the life that is the spirit of who we are to just breathe us, because we are alive. We are here. We are present. We lay our feet, plant them firmly on the floor as our grounding in the moment. We are present with our bodies, because our body is the one thing that can be here now. It can't be anywhere else. So part of being alive is just allowing the presence of our body to be our existence. Get out of the mind just for a minute. Just scare yourself. I am alive. I am here. I have arisen. And I am upright in the knowledge that I am one with God. I am the breathing force of life in this moment. I choose not to be concerned with anything other than being the presence of the life force in this moment. And I relax and rest in that knowing. I have woken. I am present. I am here now. And that is a cause for celebration. And with every word that I speak, I just invite you to be more and more present in this moment, be more and more alive, allowing your whole body to resonate with the aliveness that you are. Feel every cell of your body. Feel every piece of yourself, every hair on your head. Every cell in your body is just alive. It is just excited with the possibilities of the day. Take a deep breath. Allow that breath to just fuel and nourish every cell in your body, every organ. Every atom. I know you are feeling more alive with each voice, each thing I say, I just see your cells dancing. See the atoms within the cells dancing with this opportunity to just live fully. The opportunity to make choices that are life affirming, letting go choices that are life denouncing or life diminishing. And we choose this day because we are alive and we are here. We choose to just allow that life to just resonate throughout this screen, resonate with everyone we see, everyone we think about, because we have arisen, we're here. And that is the grandest opportunity that we can ever have, to just be here. We need do nothing. We don't have to do anything. We ain't gotta do nothing. We can just be here, choosing to embrace the fullness of life. We can choose to have life and have it more abundantly. And it is this that sets the stage for every other experience. The fact that we woke up today, the fact that we have 24 hours is what life is about. Because without that, we are not here to enjoy and experience the life that we are. So I like you as we just sit with this. I want you to say to yourself, I am here, I'm alive. I have life abundantly. Any problems I think I have don't matter, because when you're in the present, there are no problems, there are no issues, there's nothing to figure out. There's just being alive and allowing. So this day we just be alive and we allow being alive to embrace every cell of our body. Feel the tingle of your cells jumping around. Feel the atoms of your cells just awakened. Feel that heart beating ever so calmly. Your lungs breathing in and out ever so peacefully. I choose the life affirming today. I choose to have life and have it more abundantly today. I am the life of God breathing itself in this moment. Rest in the knowing that as life living itself in this moment, everything is perfect and okay. You are okay. You are more than okay. You are the brilliant beacon of light and love that shines on the world only because you're here, not because of what you do, not because of what you figured out, just because you have breathed the breath of life. That's what makes you the divine being you are. So for this day, in this space, just be present and alive fully. Embody the thinking and the idea of, I have arisen. I am upright, I've risen. Hallelujah. Great day. Hallelujah. Great day. Hallelujah. Great day. So as we end this meditation, just knowing we are just here, alive, living and breathing, life force, that is who we are. We are the very essence of life. I invite you to put your hand on your heart and take 3 deep breaths. And with each one, just give thanks for being here and now. Just take deep breaths and just say, I'm just here. And as this unique expression of life force, I make choices this day that are life affirming, life expanding, that allow me to live life abundantly, to have the experiences of life that I wish to have today. Because as life breathing itself, I have choice. And I live that today. This 24 hours, I don't worry about whether I can sustain it. It doesn't matter, because if you're doing it now, you're doing it forever. When you're choosing life abundantly, it doesn't matter what you did yesterday or 5 minutes ago, because in that moment, all is forgiven and you get to experience the choice of fully being present and fully being alive. And just rest in that knowing that in each moment, living life fully and abundantly and being the breath of life is available. So I give up any story of blame or guilt or shame or anything that gets in the way of me living life abundantly. That is who I am. That is what I do this day. And so it is. So just spend the rest of this time just quiet, sitting with that, knowing that life is living itself through you as you, and that's all that matters.
Morning, everyone. Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love, 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 love. Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love, 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 love. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. Can't turn down the darkness, can you? But you can turn up your light inside. You can't hurt away to hurt, I hate away to hate, but we can heal the divide. Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love, 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 love. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. How many generations passed this on? How long have we felt this pain? How many more hearts gotta ache before we decide to break this chain? Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love, 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 love. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, help people, help people. Help people, heal people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, bless people, bless people. Bless people, heal people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, love people, love people. Love people, heal people, heal people, heal people. I can see it in the old man's eyes. I can see it in the young girl's smile. I can see it coming through the pain. It's coming right at us like a hurricane. Yeah, come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love. Come on, get ready for love, 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 love. Hurt people, heal people, heal people. Hurt people, heal people, heal people.
Good Sunday morning, all. Good Sunday morning, all. Ha ha. Whew. So, in order to help with our new method of recording our service, we request that congregants and participants who are not speaking, performing, or interpreting to please turn cameras off until after service. At that time, all can come on camera to fellowship and share the love. Thank you for your cooperation. Welcome, 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 and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am your host, Tracy Rhymes. Excuse me. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is our speaker today. Our musicians are Where the Light Gets In. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Dr. Roni Ellington. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Ashlee Goldman and Renuka Purimetla. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you all for your service. Happy Easter!
Where your bunny is, Tracy?
Oh, my bunny? My bunny? Oh, never mind. I don't want to tell you where my bunny is. I'm gonna move on because if I tell you where my bunny is, then other people know where my bunny is, and then they'll know where my bunny is. Right? Bunny? Oops, I let it out. Okay, anyway, at the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore, every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. We would. Before practitioner, excuse me, Dr. Roni Ellington grounds us in prayer. Let me share this about her. Dr. Roni Ellington is a mathematics education professor, inspirational speaker, and STEM education scholar and mentor. Dr. Roni has spent the last 18 years cultivating herself as a teacher, speaker, scholar, and personal development expert. Trained as a mathematics educator, Dr. Roni has authored several scholarly articles on STEM education, parental involvement, and successfully navigating the STEM pipeline, particularly for minority students. As a co-owner in Evoke Life, Dr. Ellington is an expert on transformation learning and personal mastery. As a licensed practitioner, she is committed to bringing this teaching to the masses through teaching and is extremely grateful to serve this community in whatever way is aligned with her spiritual mission.
Thank you for that, Tracy. So the opening prayer for today is really it's a continuation of the pre-service meditation and this whole idea of resurrection, that we got to live. We're here to live another day. We are here to experience what we choose. So I just want to open the service with this idea that every day of life is a gift. I know we said it's the present, that's why it's a gift, but I really want us to embody and embrace the fact that we get an opportunity to live and choose this day because we have arisen. As the biblical story of Jesus points out, it says that on the third day he rose. Death did not overtake him. From a metaphysical standpoint, what that means in my world is that every single day we get an opportunity to defy death, to defy old thinking, to put aside anything that is not life affirming. We get to rise up on the third day. We get to rise up in consciousness. We get to elevate our thinking. We get to think from a new place so we can have an even more expanded experience of life. And it is in that space that I opened this Sunday service saying that we are here. We are alive. We have the opportunity to live life abundantly. And this day, we take that on. This day, we acknowledge that we are the breathing, living sons and daughters of the Most High, that consciousness of Christ that we all were born with, that has never been soiled, that has never made a mistake. We may have missed the mark, but we did not do anything wrong. So in this day, we forgive ourselves. We let go of any death thinking, what I call old thinking, old thoughts, unforgiveness. All of these things are the shadow of death, and we live fully in the awareness and the knowing that we are one with God, that we are the living, breathing manifestations, a unique manifestation of the life force that we call the thing itself. So it is in that spirit that we open this service, knowing that we will bring a full listening, a full life force to what Reverend Ray brings to us. And we will bring our full self to every aspect of this experience. Because we are here, we have arisen, we are rising up in consciousness. We are seeing things with the eyes of God. We are listening from the Spirit of God. We are just that in this space. So even though we cannot see your face, we can feel your energy. As you embody more and more of the life force that is you, the world around you transforms. So as there, we will start this service and just be fully alive, fully listening, hearts wide open. Even things people say that we think we know already, we're going to bring a freshness, a newness, and aliveness to it so that we can fully embrace and hear things and let them land in our spirit unlike any other day before today. So we give thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for just bringing your aliveness to the space, because that's what matters, people. Jesus said he came so that he could have life and have it more abundantly. Each of us have come so that others will have life and have it more abundantly. Don't forget that. So live your life abundantly so that everyone around you can live theirs. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Dr. Roni. At this time, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's community honors the diversity of all religions as represented by this ceremony. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Buddhism is the path of compassion and cessation of suffering. Excuse me. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Judaism is the path of living by sacred law. Indigenous spirituality is the path of honoring the earth and all life. Shintoism is the path of ritual, veneration of kami, and honoring nature. Taoism is the path of ultimate reality through balance. Unitarian Universalist is the path of social justice and sacred activism. Science of mind and spirit is the path of awakening one's spiritual magnificence in accord with love and law. The heart. The heart represents our love for and unity with all life. Just take that in. I have a few announcements for you. Are you ready? I heard you. You said yes. We're going anyway, even if you didn't. Ha 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 ha. We currently have 3 weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. On the first and third Monday nights, you can hang out with the Sacred Contracts Book Club hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. Slide on down to Wednesday night with the Science of Mind textbook exploration group facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. Or you can hang out on Thursday nights with the study group facilitated by practitioner Dr. Roni Ellington. The discovery class is available online. Contact us at info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org or visit the website for more information on becoming a member of CSLGB. Sign up for the CSLGB newsletter, YouTube channel. Come on, we want more subscribers for the YouTube channel, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting cslgreaterbaltimore.org. The CSLGB Ministry of Education has some upcoming classes for you. Beginning April 13th, 7 to 9 p.m. for 8 weeks, Exploring Roots of Science of Mind, facilitated by Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Exploring Roots of the Science of Mind is a transformational course and a fascinating journey through the minds of New Thought luminaries who greatly influenced Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science. Each luminary provides a different spiritual perspective. Also, ASL Level 1 through CSL for 8 weeks, beginning April 30th, 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Foundations of Science of Mind, facilitated by Dr. Roni Ellington. If you are interested in taking foundations, contact Sue Monahan. Once 4 or more people have expressed a desire, a Saturday class will be scheduled. Mental Equivalence with Reverend Chris Ashlee, Senior Minister of Celebration Center for Spiritual Living in Falls Church, Virginia. Wednesdays, April 28th through May 26th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. All are welcome. Tuition, $170. Scholarships are available. Leap into a state of true potential by activating the powerful law of mental equivalence. For every formed thing in the universe, there is a corresponding mental image. Discover how to measure and expand thinking to create a larger mental image so that one's greatest desires may demonstrate. Ha ha. For the full class descriptions and more information, you are encouraged to visit the website cslgreaterbaltimore.org or cslgreaterbaltimore.com to find out more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. All right, now you have opportunities. Check out the website. Would you like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray? I heard you. You said yes. Since you said yes, type join to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You will be glad you did it. Okay, for those of you joining us for the first time, and a reminder to everyone else, on the count of 3, we shout out prayer works. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. Woo! Oh, y'all were loud today. I felt that one. We as a community continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org.
Tracy, did you say prayer works?
I said prayer works. Does it, Reverend Ray?
It works if you work it.
It works if you work it. That's right, y'all. And y'all know how to work it, don't you? Yes, you do. I know it. All righty. So you got a little taste of them if you were with us for the pre-service music. Shannon Plummer and Mike Simer. Shannon Plummer and Bob. I said Mike, didn't I?
Yeah.
Wow. Why did I say Mike? I don't know. Shannon Plummer and Bob Simer. Sorry, Bob. They began to travel the country full-time in 2013, spreading their powerful medicine in the form of music, message, and experiences to a world that is thirsty for meaning, purpose, and peace. Bob is an award-winning singer, songwriter, spiritual teacher, and musical mystic who has been called Eckhart Tolle with a guitar. Yep. The music that comes through him will vibrate with your spirit exactly where you are. Shannon is a shamanic practitioner, intentional creation coach, artist, and singer. Shannon is an instrument and engaged observer to the story of your life. Together, they amplify each other's gifts into a divine combination that will lead the soul to truth and peace. They lead life-changing experimental workshops, music, meditation, weekend retreats, and powerful concert experiences. Yes, they do. To learn more about them and what they are doing, visit their website, Where the Light Gets In. Take it away.
Thank you, Tracy. Oh, so good to be with you guys. It's been a while, but we're happy to be here and on this beautiful day of Ascension. And so, you know, you hear the term often, He is risen. That we're going to do a song called Together We Rise. If you want to go fast, then go alone. If you want to go far, you better bring somebody else along. 'Cause in the moment of darkness, in the moment of truth, you think you're lucky stars that there's someone there with you. There's a beauty in numbers that's impossible to deny. It takes two hands to applaud and a pair of wings to reach the sky. Where there was one, there will be many. Where there was nothing, there will be plenty. When me turns to weed like the roots from the tree, it pushes everything up from underneath. Well, together we rise, together we thrive. We believe in circles, 'cause circles take no sides. Together we win, when everyone is in, when every little hand and every little heart touches every little piece and every little part now. If you want to start a revolution, reach out your hand and lift up a brother or sister and feel the power at your command. If you hold a vision, show everyone what you see and watch the tribe come alive to turn your dream to reality. Where there was one, there will be many. Where there was nothing, there will be plenty. When me turns to weed like the roots from the tree, it pushes everything up from underneath. Well, together we rise, together we thrive. We believe in circles, 'cause circles take no sides. Together we win, when everyone is in, when every little hand and every little heart touches every little piece and every little part. What's inside of you is inside of me, and it's amplified when turned into we. You'll never hear one hand clapping, fly with one wing flapping. Many hands, many hearts make things happen. The reason they call it unity, 'cause it all begins with you and me. If you want to go fast, then go alone. If you want to go far, you better bring somebody else along. Together we rise, together we thrive. We believe in circles, 'cause circles take no sides. Together we win, when everyone is in, when every little hand and every little heart touches every little piece and every little part now.
I'm not going to sing because I don't want to ruin what y'all just heard. Reverend Ray is happy about that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. At this time, Dr. Roni will lead us in a spiritual practice.
So interestingly enough, I had one plan and Spirit had another plan. So I just want to set some context for this spiritual practice. I'm a student of A Course in Miracles, and this year I decided to go back through the Course in Miracles lessons, the 365-day lessons. And at first I was going to do one thing out of the Science of Mind magazine, but I couldn't find my magazine. And Spirit was like, no, your spiritual practice is today's lesson. So I said, okay. And it was all good. So I want to share with you the lesson, and then there's something to meditate on. So this practice is really, if anybody's not aware of A Course in Miracles, I find it to be a very practical, spiritual approach to undoing thoughts of fear and embracing thoughts of love. People like Marianne Williamson, Wayne Dyer, different people have really grounded their work in the Course in Miracles teaching. So it's just my honor to share this lesson for today. So today's lesson is lesson 94. This is the 94th day of the year. And I'm like, wow, April 5th. And the April 4th, not 5th. And the day's lesson is I am as God created me. Today, we continue with the one idea which brings complete salvation, the one statement which makes all forms of temptation powerless, the one thought which renders the ego silent and entirely undone. You are as God created you. The sounds of this world are still, the sights of this world disappear, and all the thoughts that this world ever held are wiped away forever by this idea. Here is salvation accomplished. Here is sanity restored. True life is strength, and strength is sinlessness. If you remain as God created you, you must be strong, and light must be in you. He who ensured your sinlessness must be the guarantee of strength and light as well. You are as God created you. Darkness cannot obscure the glory of God's Son. You stand in light, strong in the sinlessness in which you were created and in which you will remain throughout eternity. Isn't that great? Today, we will again devote 5 minutes just thinking and beginning to really embody this idea that I am as God created me. I am his, her, its son eternally. Now I just invite you to reach the Son of God in you. This is the self that never sinned nor made any image to replace reality. This is the self that never left its home in God to walk around the world uncertainly. This is the self that knows no fear, nor could conceive of loss or suffering or death. Nothing is required of you to reach this goal except to lay all idols and self-images aside. Go past the list of attributes, both good and bad, you have ascribed to yourself, and wait in silent expectancy for the truth of who you are. God has himself promised that it will be revealed to all who ask for it. You are asking now. You cannot fail because he, it, she, God cannot fail. If you do not meet the requirement of practicing for the first 5 minutes, at least remind yourself each hour today, I am as God created me. I am his, her, and its son eternally, son or daughter. Tell yourself frequently today that you are as God created you, and be sure to respond to anyone who seems to irritate you with these words. You are as God created you. You are his son, daughter, eternally. Make every effort to do this hourly today. Each one will bring you a giant stride towards your release and a milestone in learning the thought system which this course sets forth. So in this spiritual practice, I just invite you to just contemplate on, I am as God created me. Anything else that I've added is just a story. It is not who I am. I'm not sinful. I'm not condemned. I am exactly as God created me. And I just invite you to just envision yourself as a little baby coming in this world, innocent, pure. That is who you are. That purity, that light. And in that lies your strength. And for everyone you meet today, I invite you, especially those who irritate you. I like that. You are as God created you. You are his son, his daughter, eternally. And so it is.
Thank you, Dr. Roni. All right. Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and the reason becomes clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and self-awakening, he lives his bliss as a teacher, mentor, speaker, minister, and so much more. His mission is to live, move, and be an active, which is an acronym, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities. Revy Rev, come do what you do. De nada.
All right, folks. So if you're ready, take a breath, breathe in all of that joyful goodness that you've already been gifted with, from pre-service meditation with Dr. Roni to Mike and Shannon. Oh, sorry.
Really?
Bob and Shannon, where the light gets in. Like just breathe it all in. Because we're going to do what we normally do, and we're going to dive into some information that will help us, prayerfully help us to transform and step into greater ways of living this thing called life. So today, as we consciously say yes to our evolutionary journey, we take the path less traveled, assured that we will be transformed by it. So by taking the path less traveled, our transformation is assured. The vision continues to unfold and the path is revealed with each step. Faith guides and constructs the way. This is exciting. What is needed for our journey? Today we will explore what spiritual values and what practices are needed to help us navigate this path that is the path less traveled. So here you are walking down the street and you get to a fork in the road and you see the one road that is sort of nicely paved, and then the other road is like a dirt road where like doesn't look like anybody went down that road. And you're at a choice point. Which road do you go? Recognize that life is always offering us choices. Choices in what clothes to wear, choices in what foods to eat, choices in what emotions to express. Life is always giving us the opportunity to choose and then to choose again. Like just because you make a single choice doesn't mean that choice is your eternal, forever infinitude of must be. There is always the opportunity to evolve through whatever the choice is. Even when you choose something that seems to be unchangeable, there is something even within that where we are afforded the opportunity to shift, evolve, and transform. But the question is, when these choices show up, what informs you? What makes those choices what you choose? Do you choose based upon habit? Do you choose because this one is easier than the other? Or this one is more comfortable than the other? Or I'm choosing this because I want a particular outcome? Like, what is it that is informing whatever choices arise, whatever choices are presented? What is the criteria by which we are choosing? So pause, because I want us to be aware that some of our choosing, some of our choices are made because of, in the metaphysical sense, made because of this particular road. So feel free to type into the chat if you recognize what this road is. I'll give you a couple of seconds to see if you know. What road is this? What way, what path, what avenue? Like, what is this?
The road to Damascus.
Yeah, that's far better than Mike. So,
Freedom.
So in the native tongue of the people there, Via Dolorosa, the way of suffering. Now, for those who know the story of Yeshua and the crucifixion, then you know that in the story, this is the way that he was forced to carry the cross. Now, I mention this specifically because, as I said a little bit ago, many of us choose based upon the way of suffering. Pause. Think about that. What did Bob sing? What did Bob and Shannon sing? Hurt people, hurt people. When I am suffering and I see no way out of suffering, then I am going to bring that suffering as a contagion to those who are around me, because my choices are informed by my way of suffering. Is this not why the Buddha came to alleviate suffering? May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be liberated from suffering. And if we really get down to the nuts and bolts of it, didn't Yeshua in the story have a choice? In the Garden of Gethsemane, did he not say, if it is possible for this cup, for this thing, this way to be, then can we do that? However, if it is part of what my process is in order to demonstrate what I am here to demonstrate, then I willingly drink from the cup. There was a choice. That even in that, there is the indication at a metaphysical level that we are always, every guru, every teacher, every guide, every ambassador of spiritual truth is reminding us that there is a choice. We can choose to continue in the trauma of our youth and our growing up. We can continue in the trauma and the pain of whatever the world is presenting to us via the news, via politics, via whatever it is, via the way our body is showing up, via the dysfunction in relationships, via whatever, via dolorosa, via the way of suffering. We are always at choice point. Elaine Pagel says, here, Jesus, in effect, turns one toward oneself. And that is really one of the themes of the Gospel of Thomas, that you must go in a sort of spiritual quest of your own to discover who you are, and to discover really that you are the child of God, just like Jesus. There is only that which God is. Now, for linguistic convenience, we say the child of God, but God is all there is. So if we are the children of God, then that means God is both father and mother as well as the children. God is all there is. In the same way that Yeshua said, if you see me, then you see that which sent me, that which created me, that which empowers me, that which imbues me, that which resonates in, through, and as me. And that which is true of me is true of you as well. But what does she say? What does Elaine say? You must go in a sort of spiritual quest to discover who you are. Why do we need to discover who you are? Matthew 6:33, seek ye the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and what you need will be provided. When you seek the kingdom, but wait, let's go to Luke. For indeed, the kingdom of God is within you. So when you seek first the kingdom, which is within you, which is that inner life, that inner spirit, that way of being all that is, then what you need is provided. You find the truth of your being, you find the truth of spirit, and that which you need, that which you desire, that which you deserve is provided. Ernest Holmes says in the Declaration of Principles, we believe that heaven is within and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. So by our consciousness, we experience heaven. The moment we elevate to that mental equivalent of I hear, I understand, I recognize, I see, I feel healing, health, well-being, love, joy, peace, then I experience it, and what I need must be provided, must be demonstrated, must be the right relationships, the right connections, the right phone calls, the right whatever, because that's that whole idea of righteously. That which is right shows up around, in, and through us. And everywhere else. There is nowhere that we can go that God is not. So the moment I go here, God is present, and therefore what I need must be present. If I go there, it's present. So being mindful that this inner search, this inner awareness, this getting to know you, getting to know all about you is getting to know God, getting to know the essence of that which is. This is why, if you read the Gospels, this is why Jesus oftentimes went away to meditate, went away to pray, went away to separate himself from the mass consciousness, to reconnect, realign, reopen his chakras, to be able to know who and what he was in order to live, move accordingly, in order to do what he was here to do. That's the story. Our invitation is to do the same. Ernest Holmes says, the only God you can know is the God of your own inner life. You can know no other. To assume that you can know a God outside of yourself is to assume that you can know something of which you cannot be conscious. Because there is nothing outside of yourself. That which is inside is the same as outside. As above, so below. As within, so is on the outside. God is not external, but is indwelling at the very center of your life. And what he's saying there is, because oftentimes we think of God as the anthropomorphic separate God. And he's saying, no. It's not a separate entity. It's not solely external. God is within and outside. God is above and below. God is all there is. How do we practice the process of getting to know through our own spiritual practices? Meditation, music, prayer, walking, nature, all of these things, washing dishes, cooking grilled cheese, whatever it is, everything then becomes, how do I get to know myself as the divine, as the spiritual magnificence, as a being who is whole, perfect, and complete? Because the more I get to know that, then the more I get to know God. But let's pause for a second and go back to this idea of Yeshua carrying the cross. Because this idea of cross, the cross, a cross, is seen in many, many, many images, ideas, and forms. It doesn't matter if it's a double Vajra, if it's the solar sun, if it's an Ankh, it doesn't matter where it is. Now, why? Because it's a reminder that As above, so below. As within, so it is on the outside. Breathe that in. This cross, this idea of the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, the as above, so below, as within, so without. As it is in my consciousness, so it must be in my experience. All of this is a reminder, even something as rudimentary as the plus sign. Why? Tracy said, why? Why the plus sign? Because the plus sign reminds us, add. There is nothing about God that subtracts, because God can never be less than itself. Everything in the divine is about adding. Even now, pause, think about this for a second, because even when you remove a relationship, there's a dysfunctional relationship, and you eliminate this, you release it, you separate it, whatever words you want to use, they are no longer in your life experience. Is your life not now made more full through them no longer being present and a part of it? That's not lessening, that's adding. For I came that you may have life and have it more, that you may have added abundance, wealth, prosperity, joy, love, bliss, and passion. There is nothing in there that says, so look, check this out. I came to take everything. Even when Yeshua told people, look, leave this, leave that, and follow me. Leave this, because if you don't, you are going to be sidetracked. You are going to be distracted by it, and you are not going to be able to step into the fullness of who and what you can be. That's not subtraction. That's addition. That's adding to the wondrousness of who and what we are. So every one of these images, icons, symbols is a reminder to go within to that place where there is the infinite crossroad, the place where even the intersection of a road is a reminder that here these 2 points meet, and that is the center of my being. That I am always at choice point. I can choose how to respond. I can choose who and what I am going to be in this moment and every moment. I choose what comes out of my mouth or what flows from my hands. I choose who and how I interact. I choose. Ernest Holmes says, one of the outstanding things that Jesus taught was that the mistakes of yesterday can be canceled, that God's creation is always taking place, and no matter what, the experience of yesterday may have been, they can be changed. Whatever that experience is of yesterday. Now, yesterday doesn't exist, so we're not literally changing the experience. You know, years ago, I was in a car accident. It's not like I can say, cancel, delete. The car accident never happened. But if in my mind, because Tracy will tell you, I ruminated about that whole thing and having to go to court and stuff for a long time. Yeah. I get to choose, how do I respond? Do I respond in bitterness? I get to change. The anger that I felt during and immediately following the accident, do I carry that with me today? Or do I change what happened yesterday? Do I change how I show up from whatever, quote unquote, mistakes from yesterday? And I'm not saying the car accident was a mistake. I'm saying in the mind, because the way I ruminated it, it was, Tracy, I am so sorry, because if I had come to pick you up earlier, or if it was like, so I made it about me making some error in my mind, in my consciousness. We get to change that by being present. As Dr. Roni said, you know, this is the only moment we have. This infinite and eternal now is all there is. So how do we choose to live into it? Do we choose to live into it with presence and power, or regret? There's this whole idea of spiral dynamics, which we're going to get to in a second, but it gives us the opportunity to always look at what level of consciousness may we be responding from. But Ernest Holmes says, I know that limitation and fear do not exist in God's kingdom. Pause, because where is God's kingdom? Within. Now we say within, and I don't mean like it's inside my body, but it's that place where we go, where we are not distracted by the outward appearance of things. So within this place called heaven, the kingdom of God, there is no limitation, lack, scarcity, or fear. Light of the Spirit within me dissolves every obstruction in my path. Whatever that obstruction is, whatever it is that I may be believing the obstruction is, this light of Spirit, this way through, dissolves that because our consciousness elevates. Everything unlike the perfect nature must disappear. So no matter what's going on with your body temple, no matter what's going on with your finances, no matter what's going on with it, the solution, the other side of, is already present. The moment you say 2 + 2 equals, there is already a solution through looking at and working through this equation, this problem, this whatever. The solution is already there. And the solution is infinitely always within each and every one of us, because that is where spirit resides. It is all that we are. My entire thought, will, and imagination are saturated with the divine presence. Doesn't just say, pour it on me a little bit, just pour a little bit on me. Like, you ever been around somebody who saturates themselves in cologne or perfume? There's yeah, Tracy knows. There's a difference between, a dab, a little dab will do you, and there's a difference. What are you trying to have the people in New York smell it? Like, what are you doing? My entire thought, will, and imagination are saturated with the divine presence, which forever proclaims, behold, I make all things new. All things are made anew. All things are being added to our consciousness and our lives when we are saturated and allow ourselves to be saturated by this divine presence that is the truth of our being. So remember, I mentioned the spiral dynamics. So there are various levels of consciousness that what this is saying is, if you are mindful, then you get to identify where you are choosing from. For example, it says decision making. If your decisions are being made from a place of the magical or the animistic, then you are making decisions based upon tradition and culture. You are letting the elders decide. You are, right? So then let's move up to the achievist and the scientific. Your decisions are being made based upon bottom line results. The successful win the spoils. All of this, because at any given moment, you could be somewhere up in holistic, and then this other decision thing takes you down to impulsive and egocentric. And then this other thing throws you back up to integrative and autonomous. Like, it's not one or the other. We are fluid, moving, but the idea is, how aware in any given moment are we of what is choosing? Because maybe I don't want to choose from this position. Then when I am present, I get to choose anew. When I am present, I get to choose what is more life affirming for myself. Ernest Holmes says, I know that all the power there is and all the presence there is love, the Spirit Almighty. I know that love protects me and that I am guided and guarded into the pathways of peace, of joy, and of security. I know that this is true of all people. Pause. Because the moment we start talking about sacred social activism, it's easy to bypass and say, well, if this is true of all people, then how did George Floyd get murdered? If this is true of all people, then why are there grown men threatening Greta Thunberg? All right, like, If this is true of all people, then why are there increasing numbers of trans women of color being murdered and disappearing? Indigenous women disappearing? Asian Americans being assaulted? If this is true of all people, the essence is, yes, it is true of all people. But because we are, what did Bob sing? You can go by yourself and you can go fast. Or you can go with one another, go with a group. United, we stand in the truth and the power of what resonates as change. And therefore, what is within, as this is true for all people, as their internal experience, then becomes a process. Individually, I do it, and then collectively, we do it. This is what I believe about everyone. This is what exists for the whole world. This is my prayer of acceptance today and every day. I feel myself safe in the keeping of the divine love. I feel the soft, enveloping presence of the living spirit. Richard Rohr says, see, Jesus's many parables of the kingdom, which lean heavily on the language of growth and development, his common metaphors for growth are the seed, the growing ear of corn, weeds and wheat growing together, and the rising of yeast. His parable of the reign of God are about finding, discovering, being surprised, experiencing reversals of expectations, changing roles and status. None of these notions are static. They are always about something new and good coming into being. So I want to pause for a second and go into this whole idea of the reign of God. Because the reign of God, to possess or exercise sovereign power and rule. When righteousness, peace, and joy increase, when it is added into, the kingdom of God is advancing / evolving. The most direct and practical way to advance, to add, to evolve God's kingdom, our consciousness, is to fulfill the Great Commission. The Great Commission is as simple as you knowing God, knowing yourself, and then helping, teaching others to recognize their own spiritual magnificence. That is what we are called to do. That is what we are here for, to love, to be a loving presence, to be contagious of this truth and share it, spread it, be it, know it, and do it in the world. Remember from Luke, there at the beginning of his public life, Yeshua's first sermon at the synagogue in Nazareth, where he proclaims the words of Isaiah, the reign or the Spirit of God is upon me. God sends me to proclaim, to declare the good news, the elevating of consciousness to the poor, to heal the brokenhearted, to give the blind new sight, those who are unaware, to give them the awareness, to break the bonds of those who are persecuted and prosecuted, and proclaim God's year of favor, the Jubilee year. The Jubilee year, Jesus is proclaiming a time when all of creation, all of human life, every human person, and all of existence will come under the dynamic power of God's love. In other words, a world that works for all. That's the reign that each and every one of us has. That is the power and the sovereignty each and every one of us has. Recognizing and remembering that the road you talk about is not the road you walk upon. Looking at a map of Manhattan is certainly not the same as traveling through the adventure of moving through Times Square. Talking about meditation is not the same as meditating. Talking about visioning is not the same as practicing the process of visioning. Talking about being whole, perfect, and complete is not the same as doing the inner work, the inner mystical work of knowing and recognizing and touching the very hem of your own garment, knowing this is the truth of yourself. Spiritual values and practices, curiosity and exploration. How do we practice an eager desire to know or learn something? Thorough analysis of a subject or theme. Like, how do we get into being curious and exploring. Vulnerability and trust, this willingness to show our emotions and to allow our quote unquote weaknesses to be seen, to be known, being able and willing to risk, to trust that there is this, as Ernest Holmes said, there is a power and a presence greater than, and you can use it because it's all that you are. It is what you are. So clearly you are using it. But now do you trust it to use it for your own good? And then the mystery and release, this profound, inexplicable, secretive character of sometimes we don't know and we don't need to know. We simply allow ourselves to be in the presence of. To be in the presence of, I don't know. And I don't need to know. Because I trust. I let go of my need to control and micromanage. I let go of my need to, I trust. I let go, I surrender. And then the flow happens. This week, our spiritual invitation or practices are to ask, where in my life am I currently invited to choose? What are the tools and practices that typically inform the manner in which I choose? And is there something I can now practice that will elevate how I choose? What past events am I invited to heal, allowing me to rise from the tomb of my past and to, as a new beginning, and engage my life, to engage from this place of the reign of God, letting that be where my life is moving from. The consciousness of God, the reign of God. Put all the old stuff in the tomb, be transformed and transfigured by it, and then live and move accordingly. Where in my daily practices can I approach my life with greater curiosity and exploration, with greater vulnerability and trust, and with greater mystery and release? And then, yeah, Tracy's favorite part, have a conversation with 32 people. No, I'm joking, Tracy. Have a conversation with 2 people about 3 real-world issues that trigger you, anger you, sadden you, or cause fear to rise up. Do not try to solve anything. Do not try to understand it. Don't commiserate about it. Simply be present with one another. Simply be present with one another and honor each other's sharing. Today's declaration, I will read it first, and then together we will state it. I joyfully take the road of radical forgiveness, radical self-care, and radical love, and I am free. Together, I joyfully take the road of radical forgiveness, radical self-care, and radical love, and I am free. Breathe that in. Breathe in the joy and the goodness that comes with knowing you are free. As we prepare to open our hearts, our minds, and our beingness for the beloved dynamic duo of music and magic and love and joy. And I got ready to say it again, but I'm not. As we open our hearts for Where the Light Gets In, Bob and Shannon.
There's a calling from the future, an echo of an ancient past. To all the peaceful warriors, to hear this call at last. To keep your head up and lift your heart to the sky. We're standing on the edge of the darkest day from which we can retreat. To rise for the ones who came before and dig in both your feet. And keep your head up and lift your heart to the sky. And up and lift your heart to the sky. And be humble, be hungry, be loved. For those who dare to dream this dream and keep the love alive, don't let anyone tell you can't change the world with your smile. And keep your head up and lift your heart to the sky. And keep your head up and lift your heart to the sky. Be humble, be hungry, be loved. Come on, sing it with us. Be humble, be hungry, be loved. Well, blame is not the game, the map is not the terrain. So hear the call and feel the earth and find your own way. And keep your head up and lift your heart to the sky. Sing it. And keep your head up and lift your heart to the sky. And be humble, be hungry, be loved. Come on, sing it. Be humble, be hungry, and be loved. Well, I said, blame is not the game, the map is not the terrain. So hear the call and feel the earth and find your own way. And keep your head up, lift your heart to the sky. And keep your head up and lift your heart to the sky. And be humble, be hungry, be loved. And be humble, be hungry, be loved.
Blessings, yes. So let us be hungry. Be hungry for that which is that transformation and that truth of knowing who and what we are, moment by moment, one thought at a time, one practice at a time, one interaction with people at a time. Like there's no rush, there's no race to get to enlightenment. Because in truth, that which is the light is already here, it's already now. So simply being aware to that gives it rise to being our experience. Thank you, Bob and Shannon, and to the other person in the trio, whoever Mike is. I don't know who that is, but thank you. Appreciate the three of you. So
Really, Bob? Really? Thank you. He's doing three.
The Trinity, Bob, Shannon, and Mike.
Hold up. Go ahead, Bob.
It's my alter ego. I can't help it. And I want you to call me Mikey, please.
Mikey likes it.
He likes it.
He likes it.
So we breathe in all of this amazing goodness, recognizing that life is truly good. So at this moment of service, we recognize this practice, this spiritual practice of tithing, donating, offering from our overflow, giving of our treasure, giving of our tithes, in the same way that we give of our time and our talent. recognizing, as Tracy said, that there is the moment of keeping the lights on and the nuts and bolts of what it takes for us to locate and purchase our right and perfect new spiritual home location, and what it means to have all of the equipment that we desire and the rooms and the labyrinth and all of this stuff. But it's also engaging in the spiritual practice of sowing seeds where you feel spiritually fed. And I know Dr. Roni's pre-service meditation, opening invocation, spiritual practice. I know that Shannon, Mike, and Bob's music, I know you were fed by all of that. I know that Mikey gave you that bowl of cereal today and it nourished you from the way down good. Hallelujah. Yes, you did. So, no, but seriously, so this is that moment of service when we engage in that. But we would also like to remind you that there are 2 current pledge drives where the Practitioner Corps has pledged by the end of this year, 2021, December, the end of the year, 2021, to demonstrate, manifest, and to have tithed $25,000 on top of their already regularly scheduled tithing. And at this present moment, the number is 1,160. And that the community is also asked to match that with a community pledge of 25,000. And there is plenty of time to tithe in. Knowing at this moment that what we are doing is declaring this consciousness of this, what it means to declare our abundance as a beloved spiritual community. How can you do this? Tracy asked. PayPal, text messaging, or the postal mail. I know there are those of you who still use the postal mail because Mo sent me a birthday card and Sue Italiano sent me a birthday card and Michael sent me candles. So I know the postal mail service works. So recognize that if you don't do PayPal and you don't do text messaging, a good old-fashioned envelope and a stamp still works. For more information, feel free to go to our website, and also know that you can designate a certain portion of your tithe, your donation, to a specific something. You can donate a portion to the new building fund. You can donate a portion to the practitioners. You can donate a portion to emergency care. You can donate a portion to education so we can create scholarships for people. There are many ways that you can do so. For more information, send an email, text message, or call. Our declaration of financial wealth and abundance. When we are ready, take a breath. Give the interpreter a chance to stretch their fingers because Ray was talking really fast. Sorry, y'all. So together, I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. Breathe and enjoy. And Vic, I did get your question about chakras, so stay tuned for a text message or something. Just stay tuned. I will answer your question. And if anybody ever has any questions for me, like message me, text me, call me, like whatever you need to do. Don't feel like, oh, I have a question and Reverend Ray's probably busy. Ask me anytime you want to ask me. So let us breathe and take in this time where Tracy reminds us to be awesome today, to step into that idea of what it means to be a resurrected, a being who is resurging with the power and the glory and the awareness and the plain old simple magnificence of what it means to be spirit in human form, to be God in the flesh, to be this divine being living, moving, and having this experience right here and right now. And to know that this good and even greater good is infinitely, eternally, and always available right here and right now. So be awesome today. Spread that wherever you go. Don't hide the little Easter eggs of awesomeness. Put them jonts out in front where people can see them and enjoy them, right? Just they right there. They're right here. They everywhere. Tracy laughing at me. I don't know, probably because I said jump down. I don't know why that's funny to her. So, quick reminder. Well, it's coming in the slide after this. So know that today after service, if you want prayer, Dr. Roni, and I don't know if there are other practitioners on right now, but know that our practitioners are available for one-on-one prayer, spiritual mind treatment with you. So if you desire prayer, type the word prayer in the chat box and Tracy will create breakout rooms for you. After prayer, Dr. Roni will then be leading visioning today. For those who may not be aware of what visioning is, feel free to stay on the call. And Dr. Roni, what she tends to do is she explains if you're new to visioning, but generally visioning is the process by which you are open to that voice of, quote unquote, voice of the images of the feeling of how spirit is speaking to itself as you. It's opening yourself to quiet the mind of the world, that mental chatter, or in Buddhism, the monkey mind, and being present to what truth as you, as spirit, as the all that is communicating to you, through you, and as you. And at this point, let's close out service with a brief benediction. Knowing that God is all there is, it must be right here where I am. And because it's all there is, it's right where each and every person on this call is. It's, if people are watching via YouTube later, it's right where they are too, because it's all that is. So in this moment, the old, the trauma, the suffering, the whatever is no longer serving us is placed into the tomb. It is released, it is buried, it is let go, so that that which is the fullness of spirit, living its grandest and goodest and bestest and just outright off the chainness in, through, and as each and every one of us, allowing that to be presenced right here in our thoughts, in our words, in our hearts, in our feelings, and in our actions. The goodness of life right here. Let us resurrect in this moment, breathing that in. Good and so much more good. I came that you have life and have it more abundantly. And to that I say yes and amen. And so it is. Life and more abundantly. Yes and more yes. And together we as a community say yes. And so it is. Blessings, everyone. Love you. Happy, blessed Easter. Chat with you soon.